हे फ्रेंड्स, आज है सैटरडे और हम जा रहे हैं टाटा लेट लाइव एनसीपीए मुंबई। इट्स डे 2 और मैं हिमांगी को ब्लेम कर रहा हूँ बिकॉज उसकी वजह से मेरे स्टार्टिंग के सेशंस मिस हो जाएंगे। हम लेट हो चुके हैं एंड लेट्स सी आज दिन में हम क्या करते हैं। ईजीएस्ट वे टू रीच हियर इज़ टू गेट बाई ट्रेन। ये है चर्च गेट स्टेशन और यहाँ से आप ले सकते हैं शेयर्ड कैब विच जस्ट कॉस्ट यू 15 रुपीज़। हम हो गए हैं लेट, 12 बजे का था बट वी रीच्ड एट 12:15। लेट्स सी जाने मिलता है या नहीं, मुझे तो नहीं लगता बट लेट्स सी, ट्राई करके देखते हैं। ये है गोदरेज थिएटर।
I think you also bring up another point, which the less glamorous part of writing that people don't know about. Usually people think when you write, your words just flow from your pen, but I think the bulk of writing to that extent is rewriting, right? And as a journalist, you have a looming deadline and you have a word count. So that does force you to kind of not have to rewrite. You file as you write, but when you're writing as an author and you were putting a book together, and you had the burden of knowing your subject matter so intimately, what did you do to navigate, the dreaded information dump that so many non-fiction books become, where there's all this information and you vomit it out on the page and then the reader is left to kind of wade through it. And your book doesn't feel like that. So I'm sure you had to edit yourself. So what was that rewriting process like for you?
That's a nice question. So at the start of this process of writing, one of the mentors who I've mentioned in the book, this conservation architect called Vikas Dilavri, he shared a very interesting feedback. He said, Fiona, when you're doing this book, when you're plotting places on the map, ensure that you don't make it South Mumbai centric. Because that's the trap we all fall into, including myself. Though I live in North Mumbai, I live in Mulund, I live in the suburb in northern Mumbai. It's very tempting, because everything is there. You have the Gothic architecture, you have the Art Deco, you have all kinds of things, Indo-Saracenic, etc. Very tempting to put all these lovely buildings together in one thing. And Mumbai is a linear city, Bombay is a linear city. So you just, and all of us have spent most of our lives traveling to this part, right?
The center of the city, in that sense, yeah.
So he said, try not to fall into that trap. So that was a great exercise, where I actually drew in my bad scroll, I kind of, did a ABC, and it was the truth. Everything sort of just clunked up right towards the bottom, the island city. And then I said, let it breathe, let's move up north. And that's how I was able to ensure that I don't make it an info dump in many ways, because it could have gone down that road.
Right. And I think also when you trim the fat, I'm sure that becomes a separate book on its own.
Absolutely. So there are places like the Sanjay Gandhi National Park, I said S. So S and R are the two letters where I cheated wholesale. Like, I mean, it was, my editor was like, what are you doing? There are like 5 facts over here, But the point is that there was so much, and it was important to put it out there. It was important to take the book to other parts of the city, which otherwise, you don't find.
You overlook.
So I even took the liberty of adding a Thane, for example. But it was important because Thane, in fact, was far more progressive. It had developed well before, the British came and did, all kinds of cool things for the city. I mean, the Portuguese were in Thane before.
ये है आज का लंच, आइस टी, समोसा, चिप्स और जीरो सोडा।
Side, if you see the top 10 publications in this country, top 10 publications, out of the top 10 publications, just guess, and I can give a prize outside this room once if you guess it right. What is the ranking of an English publication in the top 10?
9 or 10.
Who said 9?
9 or 10.
9. 9. By readership, by circulation, by reach, Indian publications, top 10 publications, Times of India is on the 9th number. Yeah, so the top ones are Amar Ujalas of the world, Dainik Bhaskars of the world. Second data, I mean, more related to my organization. So we touch about 750 million consumers. 750 million consumers use a Godrej product. And not all 750 million are sitting in Bombay, Delhi, Kolkata or Chennai. They're sitting in the hinterland, they're sitting in the villages, and that's where they consume data. if I tomorrow start communicating only in English or Hindi or say Gujarati, because most of the retail investors are sitting there, do you think my message is going to reach the 750 million? That's what Amit is talking about, the importance of regional media. And just to pick up on another nuance that you spoke about, you know,
तो पहले मुझे लेट हो गया था, मैं नाम नहीं ले पाया कौन कौन से प्रेजेंटेशंस पे, जैसे मांगे तो बता। फर्स्ट हमने कौन सा अटेंड किया भागते भागते?
फर्स्ट हमने अटेंड किया ड्राइंग देम इन, जो कि गोदरेज थिएटर में था। हम 15 मिनट्स लेट हो गए थे,
बट हमें एंट्री मिल गई।
मिल गई।
सेकंड
था मेक देम लव यू।
मेक देम लव यू।
तो मेक देम लव यू वाज अबाउट मार्केटिंग एंड कम्युनिकेशन
Corporate.
प्रोफेशनल्स, मेरे जनता।
मेरी जनता को मैंने बहुत अच्छा वीडियो में डाल दूंगा, उसका पूरा डाल दूंगा अलग से।
तो
एंड देन नेक्स्ट
सेशन था।
नेक्स्ट हम क्या करने जा रहे हैं?
नेक्स्ट हम जा रहे हैं
टाटा
लाइव्स ऑफ क्ले टाटा गार्डन में
Play देखने,
परफॉर्मेंस।
performance।
और ऐसे तो वीडियो बनाता रहेगा तो फिर से लेट हो।
लेट्स सी, बाय बाय। सो यहाँ लगा है बुक एक्सचेंज। बेसिकली आप अपनी ओल्ड बुक्स ला के यहाँ पे किसी के साथ भी बुक एक्सचेंज कर सकते हो, बिकॉज दिस इज़ अ लिटरेचर फेस्टिवल एंड दिस इज़ द डे 2। हिमांगी, कौन सी बुक ले रही है तू?
सो मैंने ये 2 बुक्स चूज़ की है।
अरे वाह, थर्ड बुक कौन सी है?
नहीं, 2 ले रही है।
2 ही ले रही, ओके फाइन। तूने एक्सचेंज कौन सी की इसके सामने?
वो मैं काउंटर पे बता।
ठीक। हम गद्दी पे बैठे हैं। For the show.
मांडी घालून बसले।
What?
मांडी घालून बसले।
यहाँ है स्टेज एंड आई थिंक कुछ तो भी यूनिक करेंगे। लेट्स सी। लाइन्स ऑफ क्ले, ये रहा इस परफॉर्मेंस का डिस्क्रिप्शन।
Not known. As in the crescent moon, a glittering dagger shining in icy park invites her. Crossing universes, constellations, worlds. Karma, the shining diva of love, hiding behind the waterfall, watches the strange drama. He dips his arrow in love's portion of loss of control, aims and strikes.
On the mother gets lauric acid, caprylic acid, protein from milk signals growth hormones, and the little infant starts to grow in size. So there is a signal, protein, and an action or a behavior. Now, every thought that you have, every emotional thought, whether happy or sad or angry, what's happening? That's the signal. It talks to a protein. And how the protein behaves is dependent on the signal. So if there's anger, if there's jealousy, I'm talking about chronic. The human body is well equipped for little anger up and down, little jealousy up and down, that's absolutely fine. I'm talking about chronic. You're chronically angry, you're chronically carrying resentment, bitterness, guilt, anger. What do you think the signal of the protein is going to be? Is it going to be growth? Or is it going to move away from growth? So you see, everything is biological in nature, and that's why we need to understand the importance of emotions. Now, will everyone be worried, but this is the world we live in? Absolutely. Like I said, emotional health we're equipped to. The point is when it becomes chronic. I'm chronically toxic, angry, jealous. The signaling in my body changes. And we know that even with the example of blood sugar levels. When you're stressed out, blood sugar levels go up. When you're stressed out, blood pressure goes up. When you're stressed out, inflammation goes up, which is why your surgeon would tell you, please stay at home and relax, be stress-free after surgery. Because for the healing to happen, inflammation has to come down. So if you're stressed out, it'll come in the way of your healing. Your inflammatory markers will stay high. So it's extremely important for us to understand this is the impact of emotions.
So हिमांगी और मैंने एक बुक साइन करवाई. So ये क्या है? Small wins every day. ये बोल. नाइस सेशन बाय द वे.
तो मैंने एक क्वेश्चन पूछा कि हम लोग दोनों भाई बहन हैं, हम लोग का दोनों का वर्क फ्रॉम होम सिनेरियो है, तो फिर रूटीन कैसे बनाए? तो फिर इस लाइक टाइम टेबल बनाओ करो. अरे वही तो प्रॉब्लम है ना, टाइम टेबल ही तो फॉलो नहीं कर पा रही.
टिपिकल.
कैसे फॉलो?
बट एनीवेज वो सेशन बहुत अच्छा था, उसका भी मैं वीडियो अलग से डाल दूँगा. सो एंजॉय.
वेरी नाइस.
I know the way you've treated other guys you've been with. Luck be a lady with me. A lady doesn't leave an escort. It isn't fair. It isn't nice. A lady doesn't wander all over the room and blow on some other guy's dice. So let's keep the party polite. Never get out of my sight. Stick with me, baby. I'm the fella you came in with. Luck be a lady. Luck be a lady. Luck be a lady.